All right, the fourth quality for advancing in leadership is relational equity. Relational equity, and really what that comes down to is that you are a person who cares about people. You're a team player. You look out for the interests of other people. You have a good reputation. You get along with others. That's what relational equity is all about. It means that you have a good EQ. You're able to read people and talk with people in an appropriate way, and you don't get overly emotional by the situation, and you really know how to work well with people. Relational equity is so important if you're going to be a person who advances in leadership. People with relational equity are able to work with all different kinds of people and get along. Maybe they're not going to be best friends with every person, but they're able to get along and get the job done. And people with relational equity, they have a unique ability to bridge the gap between different groups of people because they're able to understand what people need and how to work with people, and they're able to bridge that gap. It's such a valuable quality for advancing in leadership. In just a minute, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can better become a leader with relational equity. All right, let me give you some tips on how you can become a leader who has relational equity. Number one, maintain good relationships with everyone that you work with. Now, that sounds pretty simple, I realize that, but that can be really difficult sometimes. Let's face it, we don't agree with or enjoy even sometimes the people that we work with. Sometimes there's people that just rub us so wrong. But if you give into that and you become a person who just stiff arms people and just can't get along with people, then you're not going to have relational equity, and that's going to limit you from advancing in leadership. It just is. So you need to do your part to do whatever you can to make sure that you get along with those that you work with. Become a person who maintains good relationship and good rapport. Again, doesn't mean you have to be their best friend, but it means that you're professional, you're courteous, you go above and beyond to be kind. That's what it means to maintain good relationships with your coworkers. Do that. Strive to do that. The second tip is this: be willing to apologize when you're wrong. I can tell you this: there's no better way to build relational equity than to be humble enough to admit when you've said something wrong, made a wrong decision, treated somebody the way that you shouldn't have, and that you apologize and say, look, my bad. I'm sorry for that. If you become a person who's willing to apologize and admit your shortcomings, that is going to exponentially grow your ability to relate well with people. So listen, if you want to have relational equity, be a person of humility who's willing to apologize. Tip number 3 is this: give praise to others when they deserve it. Be a person who gives praise to other people. Don't be the person that tries to take all the credit for themselves or tries to shine the spotlight on you. Be a person who deflects the spotlight. Be a person who gives praise to other people. And I'm going to tell you what, not only is that going to make you feel better overall, it really will, but it's going to, again, exponentially increase your relational equity with people. People love to be around a person who's giving praise and who's willing to say, hey, this person did an awesome job. They really killed it on this. Be that kind of a person. Become that kind of a person. And I'm telling you what, you're going to be on your way to having great relational equity. And great relational equity is going to push you closer to being a person who will be ready to advance in leadership. Listen, if you're doing that already, well done. Keep going. If you're struggling with that, if relational equity is just not something you've been doing the best job at, well, hey, listen, you can do this. It doesn't have to stay the way that it's been. Take these tips, apply them, take them seriously, start working on it, and you will be well on your way. Again, if you need some help in that area, if you're struggling with how to do that in your context, reach out. I'd love to walk alongside of you and give you some tips and help you out in that. Until next time, looking forward to sharing with you one final quality that's needed for advancing in leadership. I'll talk